Well, good evening, race fans, and a very warm welcome back to SVR, the Simulated Virtual Reality Championship held in the Super Formula Cars. And today we are at Monza for round... get it right. Round 9 of the championship. And let me just tell you how the championship fares right this minute. Tequila Monkey leads our championship by a solitary point from his teammate Arya, with Vader down into third place now on 130 points. 90 Trez has 124 in fourth place, and in fifth, Wogrizzle has 88. Revelit 74, just 1 point ahead of league owner and main admin QT, with Beragos and Mario, the Kimi's Racing team teammates, on 65 and 58 respectively. Also on 58 points is Vicinity, with Jose Diaz and Stig both on 53 points each, with Soulshock having 37, Liquid Gecko just the 9 so far. The team's championship after the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring sees Azul Racing on 289 points, with Darkside Racing on 204. We have Tamiya Racing Factory on 192 and Cabbage Corp have 147. Now it's the time of the new franchises with the all-new sponsorship. Kimi's Racing has 126, with Mega Racing on 93, and Burkestein Racing have 83 points. Let's just take you then through through our qualifying session and to have a quick hello to Vader and to Fantasy Formula. Give us a hello, give us a wave if you are in with us live, and hello to Yank the Tank as well. And go and watch some of Yank the Tank's SVR content as well. It's very, very good. At the back of the grid in 14th position is the Darkside Racing driver Revelit. And let's have a look at his car, at least from behind anyway. In front of him, Liquid Gecko has 13 points in the Tamiya race, is in 13th place in the Tamiya Racing Factory car. We've got in the Mega Transport livery, we've got Soulshock down in 12th place, with the Buckstein driver Stig in 11th. We have Vicinity in 10th in Mega Transport, with the Viva Mexico livery from Wogrizzle in the Cabbage Corp colours in 9th place. In 8th, we have Mario for Kimi's Racing team. And then the lead driver at the moment for Tamiya Racing Factory, 90 Trez, is in 7th position. We have QT in 6th for Burkestein Transport Service, and ahead of him, Jose Diaz, team captain of the Cabbage Corp company. Good evening to Kim as well, who is back with us here in the live chat. We've got Tequila Monkey in 4th position, and then Beragos doing a great job for Kimi's Racing team here in 3rd place on the grid. But the front row is made up of multiple winner Vader, of course, the Dark Lord of the Sith, and we have Arya on top, and it really has been Arya's phase here in the championship. It has been fantastic to see Arya accelerate and head forward. We have 26 laps of racing for you. We're about to get underway, and hopefully we're going to have a really fun and enjoyable race. If you're watching with us live, take part and be part of the broadcast as well. And we'll be on our way then very shortly. The engine notes are building, the lights are on, and it's time to go racing at Monza for round 9 of the championship. And it's drop the clutch and go. Vader away well. Beragos struggling, with Tequila Monkey drawing almost alongside as they head down the long lead-in straight down towards the Variante del Rettifilio for the first time. We've got Vader drawing level here with Arya as they stumble through the very difficult thread-the-needle type experience of the Rettifilio chicane. But it's Arya away into the Curva Grande for the first time, and he's got attention in both side mirrors here. Arya actually sliding through the corner. Vader going round the outside and going all in here into the Rettifilio, into the Rogia chicane. They go side by side, and it's Arya just losing out as a result. And typically we see here in the Super Formula cars driven in the exclusive PSVR2 system, once you've been off track once, it is an absolute devil to get back into racing and onto the racing line, cracking into his front wing, damaging the front wing no end as well, and causing a yellow flag at the scene of the accident. But Beragos profited there on the way through nicely. So it is Aya down at the back of the grid. Very unusually to see. We've got the soft tyres on both Beragos and Vader at the start of this race. Jose Diaz has made it up to third position with Tequila Monkey on the racing medium tyres down into third place for the championship leading Azul Racing Team car. 90 Tres has 5, is in 5th position, also on the medium tyres. They've got full tanks of fuel, of course. We're Grizzle. We've got some red appeared on the Cabbage Corp colour scheme this time. We've shed the yellow and we've gone for Francesco Bernoulli or Tricolore colours for Italy here with we're Grizzle in 6th position. Mario has 7th, but is being followed very closely by Vicinity, who is just getting ahead there using the slipstream on the way out of the Parabolica. Mario can actually dip back in and get another dose of slipstream, and he's dive bombing down the inside into the corner, but running out of room on the exit of the corner, and it is a little bit of contact, profiting both passed by QT, who moves his way up to 7th. It was a through goes QT-Ilton moment there for Berkestein as Mario and Vicinity continue to battle. Stig is down in 10th position and has both these two in between him and his teammate. We have another yellow flag on the circuit. I can't see who that's for at this stage. Tequila Monkey in that 3rd position. Let's have a look at where Arya is actually at this stage as well. Having just come out of the pits, I believe Arya has gone onto a new set of soft tyres and has had to fix that front wing. Vader, 1st position. Jose Diaz, 2nd position. Tequila Monkey into 3rd place now. And racing. Whoa! Wow! That was a huge moment for 90 Tres. He just exited stage right, getting a huge moment through Ascari corner. Let's try and find that for you, 90 Tres, as we go back 10 seconds to try and see exactly what went down. But that was a absolutely lightning speed head-on collision into the barrier. Everything seems normal at this point. We're just going to hit the power slightly early, and that is devastating damage on the front wing for 90 Tres at this stage. That is huge issue for him, and it's taking time to get out of the gravel as well. Soul Shot comes through, so does Stig. Liquid Gecko, 90 Tres down to 12th. Revelit some distance away from the pace, and he's shed his normal team livery as well, has Revelit, and Vader will not be happy to see the team being misrepresented here on the grid. But Aya is still a long distance back. I'm surprised he put soft tyres on, actually, given that he had the opportunity to take a one-stop and put the hard tyres on and undercut everybody. 1, 2, 3 is Vader, Jose Diaz and Tequila Monkey as they start lap 3. Let's have a look down the main straight and see if anyone is challenging another on the way into the Retafilio chicane. No, looks like we've got good gaps having developed here for the drivers. Arya, how far away is he from... Well, he's only just starting his 3rd lap here, so a long way back. But Vader is gapping the field here and is absolutely caning that car to try and get a decent distance and make hay while the soft tyres are working for him. I'd love to hear. Well, I would at this point normally ask for people's predictions, but a lot of those everybody watching will already know the result. It's just me in the dark here at the moment, as where Grizzle is in 4th place with that all-new livery for the Cabbage Corp team. Very, very good for Italy. It looks like QT slow through the corner. What happened to QT just then? Let's join him on board, shall we? He set a personal best sector, so was clearly really going for it. Too much curb, was it? Oh, it was a Kimi's Racing Team car of Beragos who spun in the previous corner. Let's try and find Beragos and what happened. He was following right in the slipstream here of Grizzle. Grizzle getting a little bit out of shape, and Beragos also losing the rear of the car and heading straight into the barrier. So that is huge. With Liquid Gecko, they're moving up. And looks like we've got accidents and incidents every single lap so far on the grid. Mario in that 6th position is heading through Parabolica, car 53 for the Kimmy's Racing team. Many of our teams have changed name recently thanks to corporate sponsorship, and if you are in that such position, we have a handful of teams remaining that can take re-ownership, and we can brand those cars beautifully. Let's have a look at a great example of that. This is Buckstein Transport Service in the all-new colour scheme, and here you can see the name writ large as they've gone for the title sponsorship from Buckstein Transport Service, and it's great to have this. We've also got Mega Transport, and we've got Kimmy's Racing Team, all sponsoring our cars and our league, and believing in SVR, which is great to see. Kim Parkinson cheering on Tequila Monkey, Arya, and Kimmy's Racing Team. Good grief, Kimmy. Kim, that is a lot of support that you're lending out. Is there anyone, I presume you're not leaving a lot on the table of drivers that you're not supporting tonight? Liquid Gecko getting the car a little bit sideways, and the field has surprisingly spread out quite considerably already, only into lap 4. But that is often the way with SVR, and then come the end of the race, the strategies all seem to align neat and tidy. Arya is now up towards the back of 90 Trez. Arya on new tyres. 90 Trez has also pitted, so Arya has clearly found some pace here relative to 90 Trez, and the former pole position and previous race winner Arya and current championship leader right at the back of the grid. He's looking for that opportunity. 90 Trez is not giving him really more than just a car's width at the outside entry into Ascari. This is certainly going to be a hold your breath moment there for 90 Trez. Is that a hint of an Italian flag on the front wing of the Tamiya Racing Factory car as well? Nice little touch there, and not ruining our favourite livery at this stage. Soulshock, unscheduled pit stop. That's a rear wing damage for Soulshock, and he's heading into the pits. Let's see if Arya can now catch and pass 90 Trez with help from the slipstream and potentially a little bit of boost as well. Not using the boost until now. You can just see the flashing red on the lower right of the screen, but clearly not getting the exit out of the Parabolica that he was looking for. Vader leads Jose Diaz and Tequila Monkey at the head of the field, but we have a nice tight battle here between usual front runners who are trying to catch the field as we run through. No safety cars will be in operation, so the drivers are going to have to really earn their big points if they're going to make it up into the top half of the draw today. There you see Arya picking up a purple sector, fastest of anyone so far, and really started to turn the wick now and find some pace on those soft tyres. 90 Trez also came back out on another set of soft tyres. Didn't decide to use the hards. They are slightly nightmarish to try and make use of, but we've got Arya in that 12th position, looking for not only an overtake here, but to move up the field. And if these two drivers were really thinking about it, they would be working together here and not fighting over who gets points for 12th or 13th position. But how can they best draft each other all the way up to the P10 Revelet and beyond, further and deeper into our race? Well, it doesn't look like Arya has quite got the pace here to catch 90 Trez. This camera will best represent what the drivers are feeling in the PSVR2 headset, and sensation of speed is so much the greater. That was a personal best lap from Arya, but not quite the fastest lap of the race. Currently held by Vader at 131.735. Does look like 90 Trez has got some great top speed, and it's going to have to be a mistake, I think, that Arya forces in order to get himself a position change here and profiting. That's the Azul Racing Team rear wing. Looks like they've been using Floviz, but it's a genuine colour for the brand. Having a look down the inside here, another fastest first sector from Arya. That is much helped by the use of Curva Grande and the slipstream, but unfortunately getting just that a little bit too close almost in towards the Lesmo 1, and we see drivers often making mistakes coming out of Lesmo 2, and tempted to run wide on the blind exit of the corner, but Arya with a little bit of work to do still at the back of essentially the top 10. Soulshock down in 13th place, but did change onto a harder compounded tyre. I don't think we'll get the medium tyres home from that point out. let's go back to the front of the grid as Vader's gap is looking mightily impressive, and it's actually Jose Diaz looking in the mirrors at the moment for Tequila Monkey. Now Tequila Monkey having a little bit of a dry spell in terms of wins, but looks to be threatening here as the furthest forward medium tyre runner is in a good position, but doesn't want to let Vader get too far ahead of Jose Diaz in front, so he'll be trying to time that one neatly to make sure that he doesn't lose sight of Vader towards the end, because Vader can very easily open out this gap here and find himself with a pit stop in hand, essentially, over once Tequila Monkey has spent his medium tyres towards the end of the race. How deep are the drivers going to go on this first stint? Well, I would expect to see the drivers hitting at least 1/3 distance, if not further. I just want to have a really good look at this all-new Italian special livery here for the Cabbage Corp team. They've actually added some more stickers and names to the car. You can see the Webbo comms there on the rear wing as well, which is always good to see. But Vader leads us away to start his lap 8 of the race. Jose Diaz now just getting a little bit additional distance ahead of Tequila Monkey, and we'll look down at Word Grizzle, Jose Diaz's teammate, and this track really turning up the form book, because we have seen Cabbage Corp a little bit lower in the order than we were used to at the start of the season, in the mid-season, and then suddenly they've got back on the pace again. The drivers have obviously done their homework here and set up the cars nicely for the race. Kimmy's Racing Team, represented by Mario, as high as 5th position, and thanks to Fantasy Formula there, I think that's Tequila himself, who's by the avatar I'm going on anyway. I appreciate everybody's welcoming me back to almost full health. Anyway, QT just stepping over the curb there in 6th position on the way through Lesmo 1, reining it in by the time he gets to Lesmo 2. But you can see the left-hand side of the car, the tyres are starting to fade a little bit here with those fast-flowing right-hand corners that the drivers have to contend with. Vicinity in 7th place, also on the soft tyre. And the drivers will be targeting lap 9 or further for taking off those soft tyres. Stig is on the mediums, and he's going long here, and he's not too far out of range of the cars in front in order to capitalise. Liquid Gecko is in 9th, and Aya has successfully passed 90 Trez and is now pumping in the laps once again, trashing those tyres. You can see the tyre wear looks like he's been using these softs from the start, but he hasn't, I don't believe. He came into the pits to fit a new front wing. A reminder that we operate the fuel tank limitation to the point where the drivers should conserve a little or have to go for a splash and dash towards the end if they aren't demonstrating a little bit of fuel conservation throughout the course of the race. But often the drivers in their pit stop will just take a second or two of stationary time in order to make sure they reach the end of the race. But we don't want to make it too easy for the drivers when it comes to race management and racecraft in general. Soulshock in 12th position, just passes the start-finish line to start his lap 9. I want to see if how deep into the race we will see the likes of Vader and Jose Diaz head. And Beragos is still within range here, and he's stopped for medium tyres after an accident to repair damage. Beragos, great one-lap pace, Beragos, and he's channeling his inner Mika Hakkinen with his helmet as ever, our very own Flying Finn. Vader then getting towards about 45%, where on that front left, Mario says Team Comms was busy trying to regroup positions and pit strategies. I'll bet, yeah, absolutely. As Vader and Jose Diaz come through, Tequila Monkey is still there. I think Vader may have lost a little bit of time to these two. Either they have been taking it steadily and Vader has made a mistake, or they have dialed up the pace a little bit. Tequila Monkey just content, I believe, at this point to run the medium tyre and hold on to that tyre advantage, and he'll be even more content as he sees Vader get closer and closer to Jose Diaz. Not really pressurising Jose Diaz, doesn't want to put him into an accident at this stage and then run into it. But that is Tequila Monkey then in the all blue Azul Racing Team colour. We do have 2 blue cars on the grid, and we also have 2 black and red ones, which is Mega Racing Team and Dark Side Racing. Jose Diaz, so you could definitely always pick out a Cabbage Corp car in the among the population here, and he sets a personal best. He's clearly heading towards the pit lane soon because he's not conserving tyres at this stage. Let's see if our race leader at this stage and 3rd place in our championship, Vader, decides to pit. He does not. Neither does Jose Diaz. So we're into lap 10 and no pit stops just yet. But you can see Jose Diaz nearly 0.7 of a second slower than his fastest times so far, and that is then Tequila Monkey just making a slight move in the mirrors. QT has pitted, the first of the scheduled stops then. QT pits at the end of lap 10, start of lap 11, and I think Tequila Monkey is shaping for a move now. Let's join him on board for a moment, shall we? And watch the manoeuvres as he tries to have a look at making a pass here. Jose Diaz, has he decided perhaps that now is the time? He was quick out of De La Roggia, perhaps a little slow on the way in, but much quicker on the way out, obeying the great Jackie Stewart's racing rules here. Again, just focusing on the exit of the corner because Jose Diaz is suffering from problematic traction now on the soft tyre. I imagine Tequila Monkey will have a significant advantage going through Parabolica because his front and rear left tyres will not be as worn or as low grip. So let's see. You can see picking up the slipstream already on board Tequila Monkey and looking for an opportunity. It's a shame I can't see the gaps, but on the brakes so much stronger. Presumably going to be equal or better on the accelerator as well, and this is now looking very close for Tequila Monkey as we watch on chase cam the red lights come on the back of the rear wing of Jose Diaz's car to indicate that he's using the overtake boost, and that is then Tequila Monkey threading around the outside. It's really low grip on the left-hand side of the track on the exit of the Retafilio chicane, but he managed to avoid contact, which is at least target number 1. And now we're deep into lap 12 as we head through Curva Grande and head towards the Variante delle Roggia. This is where Tequila had a distinct traction advantage over Jose Diaz, but Jose not wanting to give up the position behind Tequila Monkey. You can see Woe Grizzle as these two now start to slow each other down slightly. Arya has the fastest lap of the race at 1:31.5, but he will have been using boost in order to achieve that while going for the undercut here. Let's wait as we pass underneath the old track. Another little move on the way into Ascari, just trying to put Jose Diaz offline and compromise his exit through the chicane, but Jose not buying it this time round. Vader still leads us. We have Jose Diaz on screen with Tequila Monkey now following closely behind, starting to get a little bit impatient. Strength of the car and the grip is so much better on the way into Parabolica. Now surely the best chance he has had as he uses the overtake button as well. A little bit of indecision between the drivers as to which side of the track we're going to go for. Tequila Monkey now has the right hand side, the inside line, but it is lower grip on the way in. So he's going to hit the apex and just feeds Jose Diaz towards the exit, towards the apex, and cuts off his entry speed. An overtake from Tequila Monkey then into first position because Vader has now pitted, put on the medium tyres at exactly half distance. So he was really good on those soft tyres at the start. That does indicate to me perhaps that some of the medium runners could think about an early pit stop, and Jose Diaz maybe has left it too late. You can just see the car losing grip on the way out of the Roggia chicane, and he has suddenly lost a huge amount of time to Tequila Monkey in front. So if the soft tyres went 12 laps on a heavy tank of fuel and on a green track, then they should do 13 or 14 on a low fuel run as well. So we may get the medium starters running into the pits soon. We've got Mario in 4th position on a new set of medium tyres, where Grizzle has also pitted. So that means Mario has put in a great in-lap and out-lap sequence to come out here onto the medium tyres and be out really nicely. We've got Woe Grizzle in 5th. As Yank the Tank is saying, heavy tank is him. Okay. Jose Diaz pits then with 50% fuel remaining. That would be great management from him, with Stig in 6th position on old medium tyres. We have Liquid Gecko, and now we see the drivers starting to get closer on track because their strategies are converging slightly. We've got QT, who has stopped off the soft tyres onto the medium tyres, and he is in a great position because he doesn't quite have a clear track in front of him, but he's got the benefit of perhaps a double toe down the long straight. Liquid Gecko looking for an opportunity to pass the Stig here. Some say he can't be passed. We will see as we go round Curva Grande, and you can see QT using the additional grip on the new tyre to good effect, and using that slipstream as well. Liquid Gecko building the speed. That's a personal best first sector for him. Very nice indeed, but I think QT is going to be troubling him before he has the opportunity to try and overtake on Stig, unless Stig makes a mistake here through the Lesmos, which is very easily done. As I've said before, the PSVR2 sensation of speed is so much greater than a static cam on the roll hoop or even a cockpit cam. It is massively better. If you haven't tried PSVR2 racing, go and have a look at some of our drivers' own channels, because they show you driver's eye view, and it is frantic and frightening at times, especially when you're headed straight to the barrier. Here comes Liquid Gecko then. Good amount of overspeed going on into Parabolica, but perhaps running out of racetrack. Looks like he's on the inside line, towards the pit lane, and into the pits he comes. So QT picking up a position, also picking up the toe. We have several cars on the main straight here, heading down into the corners. We've got Jose Diaz, who has just been passed by Mario. Let's have a look at how that happened. Where is he? Where is this going to happen? Well, it was a little further back, so here we go. Catching through the Lesmos. And this is new medium tyres versus versus also medium tyres, but perhaps even newer. Mario with his tyres up to temperature, confident into Ascari. That's a scary Ascari corner, and he went in very, very well indeed. Left Jose Diaz with absolutely no doubt what would happen to him if he decided to press the issue. So great run from Mario up to provisional podium then at this stage. Tequila Monkey still yet to pit, of course, because he started on the medium tyres. The option will be open to him, and Vader would have caught a small glimpse of Tequila Monkey in front, but before they entered the Retifilio chicane, but can't see him at the moment. So the longer the Tequila Monkey goes, the less chance of having to put additional fuel in he goes. So back to the battle for 3rd position then, while there's a gap between 1st and 2nd, as Jose Diaz has not going to let him get away here. We've got Mushroom Power being called on by Mario. I'm assuming something of a home race for Mario with his name, but no special livery for the Kimmy's racing team. They have only just painted their cars, so you can't be too critical of that. Lap 15 of 26. The longer the drivers go, the better and more aggressive they'll get later on the soft tyres. But while Tequila Monkey is feeling good on his mediums, he's not heading in as Mario says turtle shells are incoming. Okay, Tequila Monkey pits now. So Vader is going to take that position, I would have thought, quite comfortably. But he'll be on old medium tyres by the time Tequila Monkey comes out on the soft tyres. And we should have a bit of showdown, hopefully, for the win at the end of the race. But Vader doing everything right so far. I always say so far so that I don't get accused of cursage, as our Azul Racing Team driver, championship leading Azul Racing Team, with both drivers and constructors, driven by Tequila Monkey now in second position, comes out on the soft tyres. What kind of gap does that look like? Well, I would estimate about 7 seconds maybe, and everyone in the chat will, I'm sure, correct me and say I'm completely off my trolley here. It is way larger or way shorter than 7 seconds, but that's my best estimate anyway, without the benefit of the timing screen working to full effect for me. 90 Trez is in 10th position. Remember, he's on a recovery drive here, but it's not going quite as well as it is for Arya, who has pitted now for the second time of asking and is now in 8th position. So Tequila saying, I wish it was 7 seconds. Okay, so I was way out then, fair enough. Tequila Monkey is the guy who would know how big that gap was. Arya then driving very well after that first lap incident, and is now into 8th position, but will do well to hold on to his championship lead here today if he can't gain a few more positions. But he's driving very quickly indeed. Last lap was, well, it says fastest lap for him. He's getting a little bit impatient coming through Ascari, and I think touches the back of Vicinity's car. Vicinity moves to the right hand side. Will he make it easy on the way in? Oh, a little shimmy to the right there from Arya, but he must have lifted early, Vicinity, given that overspeed on the way into the corner. And Arya moves through into 7th position, but a long gap in front out to QT, who holds on to 6th place. Beragos, also on a recovery drive, is in 9th position on his own somewhat. And then the two Tamiya Racing Factory cars, Liquid Gecko and 90 Trez, are together on track on the same tyre, albeit Liquid Gecko having just most recently stopped, I believe. Stig in 12th for Buxton Transport Service in the all-white and teal livery, and that is Solshock just tiptoeing, I think, around the Rettifilio in 13th place. We have lost a driver, unfortunately, from the race. But Vader is in first position. I think that's Respond that we've lost. And then Tequila Monkey down and in towards Parabolica. Will we be able to see him catch Vader towards the end? They're on almost identical amounts of boost remaining at the end of this race. And Jose Diaz now has woke Grizzle because Mario's had a problem. I want to see what happened to Mario here. I guess he's gone off the circuit, and he's probably, I know he's watching, and he probably doesn't want me to rewind, and especially not. Traction moment coming out of Della Roggia, spin turn, destroying the floor of the car there, and that was Mario losing provisional 3rd position and letting both Cabbage Corp cars get ahead of him, and he's now going to struggle to hold on to 5th place because he's going to have dirty and cold tyres. And QT up to temperature in a gripping position. Mario is covering his eyes. As he said, turtle shell's coming. I thought that was an aggressive turtle shell on the drivers in front, but he's obviously tripped over someone else's turtle shell. Here comes QT, challenging around the outside. Mario taking that inside line that he used to good effect to make an overtake earlier on. So he knows the path on the way in nicely, but QT stays tucked up into the slipstream and gets ahead nicely. Has to use a little bit of boost on the way into the corner. Mario still has some boost, but not much remaining. And these two will carry on the fight. And Mario fully over onto the marbles on the exit of Parabolica. Will we see another overtake? Who's going to blink first and peel to the inside? Mario's going to go for the move. QT obviously doesn't go to the block, but they'll try and go side by side. But remember, all the time, You have to leave the space, and Mario through into 5th place. QT deposed now into 6th, and I think that might be QT's fight over. Absolutely it is, because he also spins then through on the exit of the corner. He's slightly offline here and spinning around and into the outfield, and unfortunately that's a huge moment for QT. Arya though will see that and think, well, I don't mind that at all, because I might get an additional position going forward here. So where are the Cabbage Corp drivers? They're together. Are they going to start working together, I wonder, and drafting each other up towards the battle for 2nd place? It looks like Tequila Monkey has caught Vader to a certain degree. We are down to 8 laps remaining in our race, and it has been a action-packed Monza race here for round 9 of our season. We will be back live with you as soon as possible for the next round of the championship. I think it's this weekend, and I'm just having to go ahead and check my own diary here. I think it's this Sunday at 6 p.m. UK. Yes, indeed it is, for round 10 of the championship, where Grizzle in 4th place and chasing down and trying to make use of that slipstream as best as he can. It looks like Vader catching the rearmost driver on the grid and driving the wheels off his Darkside racing car in 1st position. That is a purple sector for Vader. This is Tequila Monkey. Hopeful, I think, still hopeful of the win. It wouldn't be completely unheard of if Vader were to crash at this stage. I know Tequila Monkey is away on holiday and watching on, so obviously taking a real break from racing, but sounds like he's desperate to get back in the cockpit as well. Jose Diaz is in 3rd position with his teammate just behind him. Is that Mario losing a position out to Arya while they're challenging each other side by side into Della Roggia and synchronized spinning? Did they also collect QT? Partly, but a synchronized spin there from Mario and from QT. Is that worth another look? I think it is. Let's have a look. Should we look at it from Mario's perspective, from QT's perspective, as it were? So as they head into the corner, clearly Mario's trying to hold the left-hand side of the track. Arya trying to muscle his way through and get that better line. Both cars are going to be compromised mid-corner, and then both have a little spin. And QT, what a save from QT. Well avoided there. That's a great manoeuvre from him. Mario back on track, but a little bit battered and bruised, you have to say, and that has really hurt Arya's fight back as well. So moving down the order, Vader's enjoying this because it was until this point at least it was a pretty boring race, it seems, for Vader. So he's enjoying watching what happened behind him. Code Brown, says Vader. Absolutely. Definitely a Code Brown moment there for QT. Unfortunately, he's probably got white overalls, so let's hope we don't get any camera work too close to QT after the race. This is Mario looking really scrappy at this point. He's clearly desperate to put in to secure a good result, but perhaps overreaching slightly at this stage. Mario then trying to get that 5th place back as Vader continues to lead Tequila Monkey and Jose Diaz. QT was late on the brakes, too late on the brakes into the Retifilio, and that means Mario has got a good exit and a good opportunity to carry on here. So Mario continues through Curva Grande. The slipstream effect through Curva Grande is immense. The drivers will be trimmed out for the minimal downforce possible, and Kimi's racing team of both Mario and Beragos coming through and starting to now bully QT a little bit here. Red lights on, top of the car, medium tyres on board, so plenty of grip to the end of the race. Tequila Monkey now has the fastest lap, a 1:30.1. Mario was lightning out of the corner, getting a real power up out of Lesmo 2. And again, another great overtake through Ascari from Mario. That's another one for the highlight reel for Mario. And moving up to 5th position. Behind him, we've got Arya picking up the pace once again. Thankfully, avoided damage on the car. Didn't really hit anything, but both he and QT spinning at exactly the same time. And then we've got 93 also on a recovery drive. Plenty of fuel on his car as well. 6 laps to go for the drivers here. And he goes through. He's in 9th position at the moment. I imagine was probably hoping for a little bit more than that. Teammate Liquid Gecko behind him in 10th position. Liquid Gecko showing very well here today, with vicinity for the Mega Racing team in 11th. Stig is in 12th, and we have Soulshock way at the back, and now worrying about being lapped before the end of the race. You can see that Vader is within view here, so Soulshock is going to have to really pick up the pace unless he fancies saving a lap, as the two leaders come towards Parabolica. At this stage we've got Grizzle and teammate Jose Diaz in 3rd and 4th. So Grizzle has got past Jose Diaz. That's interesting. I wonder when that occurred and why. Shall we have a look and try and find what happened? Here it is. Just a simple teammate pass, and I think that was team orders. That's Jose Diaz giving up his position. With Grizzle presumably in team radio. All our drivers are connected via team radio for the race to encourage good teamwork and good comms. And I assume Jose Diaz thinking, well, Grizzle appears to have more pace at this stage, so let him go, or he's running low on fuel or something like that. Mario then is now putting in some better laps. Arya is just passed, actually. That's really impressive from Arya. Has Beragos and QT come to blows again? Let's have a look. They're going to go out of De La Roggia, and through goes Arya. Great manoeuvre from him. Oh yes, we love to see a little bit of that. As both Beragos and QT trip over each other. That was Arya into 6th place, and he's picking up the positions here as this race runs its course. I thought Arya might have sort of overdone it on the tyres, but remember, Arya 2 stops to everybody else's 1, and he's in 6th position. Beragos holding on to 7th then, behind Arya, with QT in 8th. 93 in 9th right now, and having a look at the slipstream here on the back of QT. Can we see an overtake coming, perhaps? It's not quite there for him. Round Parabolica we go to start lap 22 of 26. 5 complete laps to go as we pass the start-finish line. This is 93 down the outside of QT, and that was the overspeed. Look at the amount of boost that 93 has held on to, but QT, well, I'm going to have to replay that, because that really looked like QT straight into the side of 93. Now we know QT has struggled to get the car braked sufficiently down to this apex, but well, it didn't look like he was ever going to make that corner, did it? And unfortunately, that is the risk of putting yourself on the outside of another driver. It's amazing how often, while being overtaken, drivers have understeer moments and don't make the apex. Unfortunately, QT, at best, misjudging that corner and having a problem, as we saw. This is Soulshock behind him. Oh, a nice personal best sector from Soulshock there, as Vader looks to try and put the lap on before the race is run. 3 to go as they cross the line now. Tequila Monkey, I think, has reeled in Vader a little bit. There's some great laps. Look at the consistency from lap 18 for Tequila Monkey on the soft tyres, but I think that consistency might be about to take a little bit of a hit, because the wear rate is getting a little bit high. So the last 4 laps are going to have to be managed well. This is Woe Grizzle crossing the line ahead of teammate. Hasn't really made any further inroads. but I don't really want to take my eyes off the midfield here. Arya in 6th, follows Bedsti Mario in 5th position. Behind him, Beragos. They do like that that start-finish line camera, don't they, in Monza in GT7. So, Arya being the blue meat in a pink Kimi's Racing Team sandwich. Rather stretching the metaphor to breaking point here, but so be it. So are you looking for that 5th position? I think that might be the maximum achievable today, failing any errors at the front of the grid or any fuel issues for the front of the grid. Beragos in 7th. It did look like Arya just not getting through De La Roggia perfectly. 93 now catching on the back of this group as well. QT's down in 9th, and that was Liquid Gecko in between the two Lesmos, having entirely different coloured tyres thanks to the gravel effect. Liquid Gecko just trying to get this car back to temperature, and Vicinity and Stig fight now. It's a Stig around the outside of Vicinity towards the famous Ascari corner, and back onto the racing line before he gets into the corner. Car number 22 has been a very successful car number for Formula 1 drivers. He makes it up into 11th position. Vicinity in 12th now, and losing out in terms of time. Solshock has been given blue flags, and that's Vader immediately behind Solshock, coming to make that lapping. So Solshock will have to move aside and blend out of the throttle. I think you're supposed to not pass more than 3 blue flags before you release the car in front, and he's done that perfectly. Will have lost a fair amount of time himself here, and that was Tequila Monkey trying to get a little slipstream on the way out, but almost collecting an accident of Solshock trying to get out of the way of the faster cars. So about a lap and a half to go, and where Grizzle leads teammate. Such a great international field we have. A Spaniard leading a Brit, leading a Canadian, leading a Mexican, leading a American, leading another Canadian, and then we have Finland represented as well with Beragos. Really, really good to see such a community we've built here in SVI in such a short amount of time. This is only, remember, the 9th top division race that we've ever had, and this is brilliant to bring the PSVR2 community together, and we want to fast become the home of virtual reality racing on GT7. Aya is in that 6th place. Mario has good pace. I don't know if Aya is going to get home on the fuel. Look, he's just dipped into the red on the fuel with 2 complete laps to run, and I did suspect he would be having to use a lot of fuel and tyres here before the end of the race, but through the next few corners we go, and Aya in that 6th place is definitely going to have to start lifting off the throttle before he brakes and leaving a gap, just to try and minimize the fuel loss. If you enter low fuel mode, you are going to be an absolute crawl as they go through. You might take a higher gear through some of these slower corners as well. That can help, but still I'm sure is looking for that 5th position. Looks like Tequila Monkey has caught Vader to a good degree here as they start the final lap. They are a lot closer than they were before, so there's a little bit of pressure on Vader here as we finish out our race. It's probably not sufficient to force an error, but certainly it'll give him a little bit of cause for concern as they run through. Looks like the rest of the cars fairly evenly spaced, or not at risk of losing out here. It's a Nintendo who has showed up a little bit late in the chat, but happy to have you here nonetheless. This is the final lap of the race. This is race 9 of our championship, don't forget, and this Sunday at 6 PM UK will be the time we will go for round 10 of the championship. Hopefully I will be well enough, and I'm sure I will at this stage. Vader then heading towards Ascari. This is the final time of asking. I think he's going for the fastest lap as well, using the overtake boost. He's not got a lot of fuel, but he only needs to get around Parabolica and a short shoot down to the final finishing line, and the checkered flag awaits for Vader. It's been a while coming, but Vader is back on top and in imperious form once again here at the Cathedral of Speed. Vader wins in Monza. Tequila Monkey following close behind in second position, and Woe Grizzle and Jose Diaz look like they're going to make a really good showing here for the highest team score coming the way of Cabbage Corp here. Yank says, Vader El Father. Congratulations, absolutely. Tequila saying he's grateful that he could make use of the tow for the first phase of his race. But here comes Woe Grizzle to take the final step on the podium. A selfless act from Jose Diaz, the team captain, to allow Woe Grizzle that opportunity. And they didn't reverse the positions after all at all. No papaya rules in operation. Another good result for a team. That's Mario and Beragos side by side as they cross the line. For Kimis Racing Team as well, Aya picks up 7th place, so obviously managed to lose out and entered low fuel mode, I believe, at the end of the race, was it? I'm not sure, but he certainly lost a position. Let's just head back and see what happened to Aya, because earlier on he was in 5th position. So fighting with Mario over that 5th place, gets out onto the dirt. Teammate of Mario, Beragos, comes flying through, side by side into the Lesmo 1. That was mighty aggressive, but you can't fault Beragos for having a go, and that's what happened to Aya to finish out the race, and why he was so much slower. You've got to feel for him a little bit. He has been battered and bruised through this race, but picking up 7th position, a reasonable amount of points considering the amount of contact he's had. QT in 8th place. 90 Tres comes through to take on 9th position, and under the flag. And then Stig and Liquid Gecko were side by side, but Stig pipped Gecko to 10th. Vicinity crosses the line in 12th, and Soulshock has already crossed the line, but it's Vader for Darkside Racing who completes a Monza victory. Thanks so much to everybody who has taken part. I really appreciate all the likes and the clips, but the likes on the video, the sharing it with friends, and the subscriptions are tremendous. Join us Sunday at 8 p.m. UK, at 6 p.m. UK for the next round of simulated virtual racing. But from us here at the League, and from me, Webbo, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next race day.